You're listening to the Prospector podcast. Hi, and welcome to the Prospector podcast. My name's Andrew. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the episode and add it to your podcast library and share it with all your fellow prospector mates. And if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. This week on the Prospector podcast, the forgotten gold hotspot is coastal. Yes, beach gold. Not lost rings, actual gold on the beach. The research tip or tool is identifying the right names of places after 100 years, plus years, how to land yourself in the right spot. Of course, we will be doing a shout out to a content creator. Plus, I have a whinge in Prospector etiquette, or do I? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Plus a few little extras this episode. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Well, let's mix things up, mix the order up today. We'll start with the research tip and tool. This was a sort of a small one. It's a thing that can make a massive difference when you're looking for new spots while researching, and that's knowing the name of a place that the old timers used. I'll put it into a scenario for you. Let's say we're looking at an area known as Bills Creek. You know, the area was significantly worked, and yet there's very little historic records to be found on Bills Creek. It's nowhere near Melbourne, so no reason for it to be redacted. Yes, I said it. When you expand your search and look at surveyors' reports, local history pages that are not focused on the gold rush, you discover a place called Williams Crossing, with the history you were hoping to find for Bills Creek. You connect the dots and find that the original owner of the land was named William Smith, who died in 1894. He was affectionately known by many as Old Bill. And with a few stories at the pub, Williams Landing unofficially became Bills Creek. However, state and gold records didn't recognise the name change until the 1940s. Now, that's a totally made-up story, but if you do find Bills Creek, let me know and we can go and do a couple of pans. I've found many name changes in the hunt for relevant history. While it presents a speed bump, it also creates a challenge that only gives you a better understanding of the way things were during the gold rush in Victoria. My point is, things change. It's been 150 plus years. Sometimes the smallest clue can unlock the greatest treasure. Now I sound like I'm preaching philosophy, so I better stop there, hey? Anyway, shout out time, drum roll. This week, the shout out, a Prospector content creator, goes to Luke from Gold Fever Reliever on YouTube, so at Gold Fever Reliever. Luke puts out some great content, finds gold, and has a young channel on YouTube, so head over and hit the subscribe button and check out some of the videos. It's well worth the effort. And if all goes well, if all goes to plan, I'll be on the creek with Luke this week, and I might try and butter him up to see if he'll come on the podcast for a chat too. So stay tuned for that. So Gold Fever Reliever shout out. All right. Now, I'm sure some of you were waiting for this next part. Forgotten gold hotspots and my claim of beach gold in Victoria. Now, I would normally do a specific location. However, this one will cover a couple because they're either small or there is very little to no history on them, but they do exist. Unlike the Northern Hemisphere, beach gold in Australia is extremely rare. When considering Australia has 34,000 kilometres of coastline and is one of the gold richest places on earth, it's a little strange, I think. So let's start with the biggest and most well-known gold-bearing beach in Victoria, and that is Walkerville. In 1915, a syndicate called the Golden Sands Syndicate pegged out 20 acres of ground from Cook's Creek to Bell Point. Now it's called Cape Lip Track Coastal Park. It's remained parkland, that pegged area, after the discovery of coarse gold in the sand on Walkerville Beach. This sparked a huge excitement with the locals dreaming of a gold rush to the sleepy coastal town. Work soon commenced in the creeks and gullies on the foreshore. However, they failed to find the gold in the same quantities as they had on the sand on the beach. At the time, they were baffled as to what had gone so wrong. Now, I can't find a date when they gave up, but I did find why they failed to find the gold that they were expecting. So in the original article, I noticed something that stuck out to me, and that was the reporter said the gold they found on the beach was coarse and not waterworn. Now, we've all seen what the ocean does to solid rock in a short period of time, so how could the beach gold not be waterworn? Well, the gold didn't come from the creeks and the gullies leading down to the beach. Only a few hundred metres down the coast, you have Bell Point and the typical cliffs that adorn most of Victoria's coastline. It is with a large cliff collapse that saw a rich vein of quartz smashed to bits in the water below. Then with the waves pounding the coast, the gold was pushed to the first place it could settle, and that was the sands on the beach at Walkerville. The location of the gold is impossible to access, and with every rock that falls off the cliff, gold is sent to the sand in Walkerville to this day. Yes, you can go and pan the beach. Yes, there is fine gold to be found. But have you ever panned pure sand? If you need some panning practice, this might be worth a go. Otherwise, you'll need a blue bowl, you'll need a miller table to recover any gold you capture, because separating, not fun in beach sand. So Walkerville isn't alone when it comes to beach gold. Another spot that has zero written history pretty much, or any evidence, while it's about as far east as you can go in Victoria, and that's Cann River, or the Timboon Inlet. Word has it, there is fine gold to be found at the mouth of Cann River. On the sand, the deposit is small, was never mined in any notable way, but if you're down that way, chuck in a pan and you might see some colour. Now, the last one is pure speculation and more of an imagination, imagine the gold under there. So last episode, if you didn't catch it, I talked about the very real leads under Melbourne CBD and the Melbourne Sunklands. The rift that is the Sunklands is the creator of one Port Phillip Bay, and at the head of that bay is the gold-rich Yarra River. One can only imagine the undiscovered gold in the bay. Just if you don't think about the thousands of years of the Yarra pumping sediment and silt into the bay, you could almost imagine dredging the bay Bering Sea style, yeah? But good luck with that. It still gets the mind going for me anyway. I anticipate Matt from Frenchie's Prospecting will be on next episode with a gold history segment. He's told me what he has in mind, and it's going to be fun. Can't wait to hear some of the stories of a time gone by, that's for sure. So keep a lookout for that when Matt returns to Victoria. He's very warm at the moment in Queensland, and I'm not jealous at all much. Time for my rant. Or is it? Maybe it's not a rant this week. More of an observation that baffles me. I was out on a well-known, well-worked creek this week and saw some, the normal tailings of piles of dug-up bedrock and garbage all over the place. But to my surprise, I could also see some backfilled holes and reclaimed sections someone had worked. Well done to that Prospector. Thank you. But it got me thinking, do people see a backfilled hole or reclaimed ground and think, oh, they must have got gold there. They're trying to hide where they were digging? Possibly. I backfill everything. So, whether I get gold or no gold, it leaves no clues. I just struggle to work out the line of thinking. Turning everything you touch into a pile of rocks, it just baffles me. Maybe it's the lack of rain we've had, and the creeks just need a good old flush out and clean up after these monkeys. The point is, there are prospectors doing the right thing, and my hat goes off to them. We just need to catch these lazy ones and have words. Don't let it slide. There you go. I wouldn't say that was a rant. More of a, repeat, but a well worth repeating topic, I feel. Guys, if you made it this far, I'm guessing you've added the podcast to your library and on YouTube have subscribed to my channel, Another Gold Prospector. So thank you. I appreciate it. that's actually all I have this week. Bit of a short one. I was away last week, so didn't get much prep time. But thank you very much for tuning in. Till next time, talk soon.